the No Money, More Plants podcast. In this first season of the podcast, we're talking to creative entrepreneurs and inspirational women who have taken career pivots to pursue their passions. I'm so excited for this last episode of season one, and I think my guest today is the perfect person to end off the season. She's an electrical and electronics engineer and founder and CEO of Windhoek Interior Designs. Welcome, Saarty Mikka. Welcome.
Thank you, Lebo. Thank you so much for having me.
Yay. Please introduce yourself. I've just given a brief introduction, but please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Okay, as Lebo said, Saarty Mikka. Saarty Tiakula Mika, actually. Tiakula is my middle name. I was born and raised in a small village in the northern part of Namibia called Okatope. I did my undergrad in Stellenbosch, South Africa, actually. And I'm now working full time as an assistant engineer at Namibia's utility company, Nampower. And I'm also a businesswoman. And currently, my main business is Windhoek
Yes.
Interiors. It's shortened as Windhoek Interiors, but it's actually Windhoek Interior Designs. Yeah, so that's basically me. Yeah.
Oh, nice. By the way, what made you come to Stellenbosch University, like to do your undergrad, and I think you're doing your master's now, right? I'm not sure.
Yes, I'm actually doing my master's in smart grid technology. I'm in my first year now, about to finish the year. Oh,
Oh,
thank God.
yay.
Um, but yeah, actually, I never wanted to study in Namibia. I was always that child who somehow wanted to be away from home. I mean, when I started school, I was in boarding school since grade 3. Imagine, very young.
Yo.
So basically, I wasn't used to staying at home. So when I came to university, I first started off in Namibia at a university called Polytechnic of Namibia.
Mhm.
And I was there for 1 year. And I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it because my goals were always, I didn't want to be like everyone else. Okay, everyone is studying in Namibia. No, I want to study in another country. And already when I was grade 11, I started applying to South African universities and things like that. And I remember they told me I wasn't accepted because I didn't give some of my documents or something. I didn't sign some documents, and I was really heartbroken. But I stayed for that 1 year in Namibia, and eventually, after I was done with my first year, Stellenbosch then accepted me.
Oh,
So I don't know. It was just a thing of I want to be away from home, honestly.
nice.
And Stellenbosch seemed to be one of the best universities in what I wanted to study.
Mm.
So yeah, that's basically why I came to South Africa. Yeah.
Yo. No, I can relate to
So
that
yeah.
because I mean I also went to boarding school from grade 5, and so I'm really not used to being at home. And
Wow.
yeah, so I completely understand where you're coming from. So is that why, like, you wanting to be so different, is that why you decided to start your business?
In a way, yes. Because I don't know. I was always so ambitious in a way. Like I don't want to do things the way I wanted more out of life. And I
Mm.
just felt like with just a salary, I will never be able to achieve that. I mean, since high school, I used to sell things. Even in varsity, I used to tutor. I used to do all these things just to earn an extra income. If you ask, even all my friends in varsity, they'll tell you that I was always up to something. I was always in some form of leadership. Um, and obviously, from where I come from, we
Mm.
were not that well off or anything, and I never wanted to go back there. That's just it. I was like, no, there's no way we can go backwards. We need to move forward.
Mm.
That's why I decided, let me start a business so that maybe one day I could build wealth for the family. Just I just wanted to be different. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, this is so inspiring. I'm like, we can end the podcast here. We can end the
Yeah.
podcast. No, but that is very true. You can't go back. You need to keep moving forward. Yeah, and I'm worried about the like wanting to earn more than just the
Yes.
salary. I want it to be a healthy thing, right? I don't want it to be like I just need to earn
Yeah.
more money. It's
Yeah.
not
No.
supposed to be like that. It is something that we need to
Yeah.
think about, that you need to earn more than just your basic salary. But it's not supposed to be an
Yeah.
unhealthy thing that like, oh, I must have three jobs and I must be
I'm
selling
just
this.
saying, yeah. I
But
don't
yeah,
think
it's a good
I don't
point.
think everyone needs to be like that.
Mm,
Because at some point, it gets a bit stressful, and then I'm like, why couldn't I just be okay with my salary? Because my salary is okay. Like a lot of people, hundreds of people are
yeah.
living off their salaries. Maybe that is even less than what I'm earning. Why do I still want to do this? Why do I still want to go through the stress and everything? And I realized that it depends on who
Yeah.
you are and what you want out of life. If if what makes me happy is going on trips in Santorini, then is the salary enough for me? You see, that's what I'm saying.
Ah, the
No, I'm
girl.
just saying, like, you need to see what the things that make you
Yeah.
happy, your goals, what you want to, your dreams. If your salary can sustain that, then
Mm,
you probably don't have to live through the stress. That's why I never force people to join entrepreneurship, because I know it's very stressful. And if you yourself are okay with that, you
mm,
should never feel like you need to start a business because of that. But as another thing is, the way my business, it's something I'm passionate about. So I'm not stressed about the business part. It's just maybe uh, having to deal with people. Some people are difficult, or employees. But in terms of what I'm trying to do, I'm not stressed about that. I love doing that. I love seeing customers when they are happy. But unfortunately, everything will not always go well.
mm,
But it just needs to work together. Passion, but at the same time, you shouldn't forget that it's still a business. A business is supposed to elevate your life. And if it's not, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. So yeah, those are my yeah, my thoughts. Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah,
really good advice. That is very good advice. And yeah, there will be stressful times, but I think if you enjoy it, the rest of it, yeah, it's just bumps
exactly.
and kinks
Yeah.
that you have to get through. Do you have such good advice? Do you come from a family of entrepreneurs, or friends that are entrepreneurs, family
Not at
friends?
all, honestly. I mean, my dad tried to run a bar, um, where they sell alcohol and stuff, but that wasn't successful, honestly.
Hmm.
As a matter of fact, like, most of my family members started doing business when they saw what I was doing. Like, that's when they started being interested in business. I mean, the other day, my sister told me that, like, I inspired her to start her business because now she has a cleaning company and stuff. It's like they kind of, I'm the youngest, but they kind of see me as an
What?
inspiration. And now everybody, they come to me and say, can we do
Mm,
this? Can we try this business? And I advise them. And it's like now their business side is also coming out when they saw what I was doing and how passionate I was. But even my mom, she started now selling Avon stuff and all these things. And
oh,
I
nice.
see it, and I'm really happy that everybody's kind of trying to earn a little income on the side, because we need that. We need to think like that if we want to kind of like grow the family and things like that. So yeah,
Mm.
but I didn't have anyone to really look up to in terms of business. Most of it I just learned, but I don't know. I really don't know where it came from, because, as I said, since high school, I was selling stuff. I think I would say that poverty maybe drove me to entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Saarty, that can't be. You think so?
No, like, I don't want to say poverty. Maybe that's the wrong word to use. It's more like,
Yeah.
okay, you come from home, you don't get enough pocket money, right?
Mm.
And you also want to be able to. to have food in your cupboard. You know almost how boarding school is, right?
Like my mom used to give me like 300 rand. 300 rand didn't do
Exactly.
anything. And other kids every Friday they go get
You
ice
see?
cream. Hey guys, we were suffering.
You see? I didn't even get
How much were
300.
you
Imagine.
getting?
I didn't even get 300. That's a lot. I honestly, at most like 100 bucks.
Oh
And we used to be gone for a long time. My mom has never seen the hostel, my hostel. Like she never used to come. It was really far. She never even used to come for parents' meetings. And imagine I was like an A student
my.
and
Mm,
I felt like I couldn't show anyone. It was quite sad, anyways. But that's not the point. It's just when you saw that the other kids have these little chips
mm,
and cookies and you wanted that, but you know that you cannot ask your mom because she
mm.
told you, I cannot afford to give you those things. Then I said, okay, but what can I do to achieve those things? Then I started selling. I remember I bought my first smartphone myself. It was a
What?
Nokia X3,
Yo.
those ones with the keyboards. I bought it with the money that I made from just selling um, all these chips
Yeah.
and stuff in high school, you know. So I wanted to help out my mom and just, you
Mm,
know, yeah. So it was just a thing of like,
mm,
how do I also get chips, you know? Then I sold stuff. How do I
mm,
get what? And it started off like that, and then it just went on and on. When I went to Stellenbosch, okay, I saw how people are doing things. I want to go on wine farms, but there's no
mm.
money. What should I do? Let me tutor students. So, and every time, and I enjoy teaching people.
Yeah.
So, can you see the passion was always there, but it came with an extra income as well. Um, I
Mm.
like being in leadership. I like leading people, but at the same time, they still gave us a little bit of money. So it just worked together, you
Yeah,
know.
no, it was a perfect combination. I know clearly everyone must send their kids to hostel so that they can understand a tough
I
life.
think so.
And then they will become
Honestly,
successful.
yeah.
I think, to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with you, I do
Yeah,
think there are some principles that you learn from being away from your parents as a
exactly.
teenager and as a child that you wouldn't learn if you were with them. So I do see a lot of value in that. It doesn't have to be difficult, doesn't have to be a struggle, but there is some responsibility and some value in that. So
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
So since you love teaching people, please educate us. What were your first steps with Windhoek Designs, Interior Designs? What did you raise capital yourself or did you get investors into the business?
So, first, when I started, as I told you, first it started off like it was just a random idea. Like, okay, what if I do like a home makeovers in Namibia? Like, how would that be?
Were you watching a lot of American television?
Yeah, I watch a lot of home makeover. Even when I was in
Yeah.
Stellenbosch, like yo, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Even with Pinterest, I'm obsessed. And yeah, so
Mm,
and then this one time I was going through Facebook and um I saw a guy was advertising a coffee table, and then I asked him, "Oh, can you make me this coffee table?" Because I was moving to a new place. I was staying with my sister, and I
mm,
was moving to a new place, and at that time furniture was also expensive. When I was buying my stuff, they were expensive. And then I found this guy on Facebook and he made me a coffee table. And I remember I didn't like the way he made the coffee table. It had so many mistakes. I'm kind of like a a perfectionist.
mm,
So I was a bit disappointed and I spoke to him and stuff like that. And yeah. And then I just decided to take the table eventually and whatever. And then he called me later and then he was like, "No, I really loved uh the way um you advised me and how you were honest with me and stuff." Like that was like
mm.
months later. And then I was like, okay. And then I was like, "No, it's fine. You're welcome." And then he's like, "Okay, please get me more customers." Now I'm like, okay,
Uh-uh.
you know,
What is that? That is very strange.
yeah. So now I'm like,
Uh,
okay, if I'm gonna get you customers and you are not making people happy, it's a bit tricky. And then I
Mm.
thought about it. I was like, okay, I want to start a home makeover business. Maybe I
Mm.
can use this guy like to make some stuff for me, and I can
Mm.
like if I design something for someone, then he can make the stuff. Maybe we can work
Mm.
together. Maybe I shouldn't just let him go. So I thought about it like
Yeah.
that these two go hand in hand together. And then
Mm.
yeah, okay, then I spoke to him. No, really, if you want to work with me, you need to change some things, because if if you want to be part of what I want to do, my vision, like you things need to be different now, you know? And I asked him
Mm.
like what else, what other skills do you have, and stuff like that. And that's how it started.
Mm.
Um then I started working with him, and then I brought in some other guys, and then didn't grow very much, but it did grow. I mean, at some point I had like
Mm.
5 guys working for me and stuff. And yeah, because the idea was just to make my own furniture, because sometimes you have this idea and nobody can, if you go to the shops, you won't find
Mm.
what you are looking for.
Yes, and I think the other thing is that if you're
Yeah,
looking on Pinterest, most of the things are not necessarily in South Africa or in
exactly.
Namibia
Yeah,
yet. They still maybe 2 or 3 years later gonna come into our
exactly.
market. So that's the other thing. So when you're looking elsewhere, you try and find what we've got in South Africa. It's not gonna be, or in Namibia as well. It's not gonna be the same. So it's actually good that you
Yeah,
are
exactly.
on all markets and
Yeah,
you are also trying to design your own. Yeah.
thank you.
So yes, back to the question. Like, did you raise capital?
First, when we started off, we were borrowing someone's equipment. And what I do is I let
Hmm.
customers pay a deposit for the stuff. Like if I'm making you something, you pay a deposit, and then
Yeah.
um, I kind of use the money to make some of the clients' things, and then and then it just adds up together. Like it helps the business, and eventually, as we started making
Mm.
profit, I started buying equipment one by one. First the main equipment like a compressor, and then we
Mm.
moved on to the
Mm.
other equipment until we eventually had everything. It was a bit tough because the people who we borrowed whose equipment we used to use were a bit also difficult, and it was not easy, and I couldn't wait.
Mm.
But also I sometimes have to chip in, obviously,
Mm.
with my own salary, and maybe I buy some equipment on my own.
Mm.
Like when I decided to move out of the venue now where I was sharing equipment, I had to bring in my own money to buy some new equipment that we didn't have, like an upholstery machine, the one that you used to sew the stuff. Yeah, I had to buy those things on my
Sure.
own. But it felt like it was an investment. So yeah, and also I
Mm.
got a
Mm.
COVID relief funds also from Startup Namibia. It's a company that helps startup businesses.
Ah.
Yeah, so so they chip in, and there's also a company called Launch Namibia. They are also really helpful. Like they put me in their magazine. I don't know, you probably didn't see it. I don't know if you saw my Instagram. So
No, but I will
yeah,
definitely have a look.
it's like an entrepreneurship magazine in Namibia. So yeah, I was in there. So
Mm.
that really helped with the marketing and all that. So yeah, so what I started off with is social media, and also just buying equipment one by one until we could stand on
Mm.
our own. And yeah, that's basically how it all started. Yeah.
Yo, this sounds like a very exciting, but also like I can imagine the stress levels that you must have gone through, but also like the reward seems very great. Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you also experience the rush of everyone buying a property, a house, somewhere in Namibia, the same as what we had in South Africa? I think almost everyone bought a house because I guess the rates were so low. Was it the same for you guys in Namibia?
Um, I think in a way, yes, because I see a lot of people building houses right now. Like even
Mm.
when I was cycling earlier, a lot of people are building houses. I don't know now if it's individuals or more like developers, but I see a lot of people,
Mm.
and also it has brought me a lot of customers. Because remember, if someone is staying in a flat, they'll probably just buy, for example, one headboard, right?
Yeah.
But if you bought a house, you probably can buy three headboards. You know,
Mm.
so with a house, there comes a lot of support. So I've seen a lot of people that are buying a lot of stuff, like maybe a coffee table, TV table, three headboards, and that's how a business grows. If you are just selling one by one, you don't really make a lot of money. So these people that are buying new houses and stuff, they've been really supportive, and it has grown my business, a little bit.
Mm.
um, and another thing is that when I saw that a lot of people are building, I also saw a market opportunity. Like right now,
Mm.
um, it gave me an idea to kind of like approach homeowners, developers, and ask them if
Yes.
I can do the interior design of their, yeah. So I'm kind of excited,
Mm.
because it kind of like, cause that market is not really tapped in Namibia yet. Nobody is
Yeah.
doing like interior design and 3D versions, and yeah. So
Mm.
I'm looking to into get into property development and stuff,
This is
and
this is what I love to hear. I'm so happy. I'm so
yeah,
happy right
I'm
now. This is
excited.
good.
Yeah.
Yes, go get
Yeah.
it. How? What's your level of involvement within the business? At Because obviously, yes, you are an investor
Yeah.
essentially
Yes.
in your own business.
Hmm.
But do you do the day to day running,
Yes.
or is there
Unfortunately,
somebody else that does that?
unfortunately, I do it. I don't like it, but I feel like the business is still a baby, and
Mm.
I feel like it's not the right time to get out, especially now during COVID. Things are a bit not really that good. I can't really afford to bring in
Mm.
someone. And if you want someone to do what I'm doing right now, you need to pay them well. Otherwise, the business is gonna fall, or they're just gonna take your customers and do their thing on the side. Um, I've seen it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So unfortunately,
Mm.
I'm doing the day to day, but it's not really bad, honestly. I have
Yeah.
an online store where people can easily order, or they just leave me a
Mm.
message, and I have an hour where I just respond to business stuff. Like everything has its time. That between this hour, I'm giving out quotations and stuff like that. And yeah, like
Mm.
everything is just set. Like otherwise, there won't be time to do other things. That this time I'm doing this and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm doing the day to day
Mm.
running. First, it was a bit hectic, but now it's better. um yeah,
Mm.
it's really better. Yeah.
But I'm sure you like the level of discipline you need to be able to, in that hour, actually do respond to people, get invoices out, and things like that. Like, I can imagine you need to be highly, highly disciplined.
Yeah, and it does come with I don't want to use the word stress, eh? Yeah, like,
Yeah,
ooh,
let's not
that in
use it.
that time
You've
when you have
been
to
using
do
it too
this,
much.
yeah, it's not stress, it's like
Mm.
seriousness. I don't know, like in that moment you just have to be concentrated on what you are doing. um
Mm.
and it's not easy. Like if someone is there with me when I'm doing this, they'll I will just disappear. I'll get into my own world. Yeah. And they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
understand, no, Sati right now she's busy with business. Yeah.
Mm.
So
No, it's not a bad thing, honestly. I mean, even at work, yeah, at a normal nine
but
to
it's
five, you.
nice. It's like you feel like you
Mm.
are doing
Mm.
something.
So
Mm.
yeah, that's how you're basically managing. So you're still working 9 to 5 at an engineering company.
Yes. And I'm studying my master's.
I don't know how you're managing.
Yeah,
You probably
sorry.
don't
Uh-huh.
sleep. What does a
Yeah,
typical day
then
look like? I don't
sorry.
understand. So do you study in the morning? Like, do you read articles and things in the morning and then work I don't know how I can't imagine how your day is run.
I prefer to work during the night.
Really?
So I normally I take the bus at around 6:30 to work, and then I come back home around uh, maybe 5 o'clock, and then maybe I'll make something to eat, and then I'll go train at around 7 o'clock,
Mhm.
6:30. I go train for an hour, and then I come back, and then I start doing my schoolwork. If I have something slacking from work, I also do it then. Mostly on weekends, I do schoolwork. Yeah, and maybe business stuff. Like sometimes some random things will just come up when you're a businesswoman. Like unfortunately, you it's never planned. Before you know it, you have to go
Mm,
do
mm.
something, or or something wasn't done properly, and you have to go fix it or
Sure.
stuff like that. Yeah,
Yo, Saarty, when do you sleep? What time do you actually go to
yeah.
bed?
Um, Maybe 1 o'clock. It depends. If I have to finish an assignment, if sometimes I have to finish an assignment, then I'll really go to bed even 4 a.m. Yeah, because I have to submit or whatever. It's just
Yo,
it depends. It depends on circumstances.
I'm not a
Yeah.
businesswoman then, cause me 9:30 I'm out like a light bulb. Like I'm out.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
What? 9:30.
9:30. It's still
That's probably
daylight
the
for
time I
me.
start working
Yeah.
on school.
But I
Yeah.
do feel
Mm.
it's probably because you
Mm-hmm.
studied engineering that you don't value sleep, or you value it but you just
Yes.
don't sleep.
Yeah, we are used to it. Remember, we
Yo,
never used to sleep in
yeah,
university.
yo,
Yeah.
study. So how, besides
Yeah.
like the sleepless night, how has your background in engineering helped you? Has it helped your business in any way?
Um. Okay. Obviously, like in engineering, we were taught to be innovative, right?
Mm,
So they were just they taught us basically how to survive in any environment, because an engineer can work anywhere, at the bank,
mm,
whatever. So basically, I try to be innovative. I try to come up with new ideas. How can I help the business grow? um, like, what new aspect can we bring up? How should I advertise like it? Yeah, I just
mm.
basically I took those skills, because we also did some entrepreneurship courses in engineering. So
Really?
I'm constantly just trying to be innovative. Yeah, yes, we did. Like we
Mm,
used to come up with like technical ideas and stuff like that. And even some of the ideas, like if I want light, maybe a TV stand that has some light coming, like that's easy for me. I already know those things. Or like the
mm.
other time, like now, if you check my apartment, I have a vanity mirror. So I had to
Oh
show the
yeah,
guys, how do you
I
connect
saw
the
it.
wires. Yeah, how do you
Mm,
connect the wires? So basically, if I want to integrate a piece of furniture with electrical stuff, it's very easy for me, you know.
mm, mm.
So yeah, it's all engineering. In the end, when something is technical, it's just technical. Even when
Yeah.
something is not done properly, if piece of furniture, I can easily tell that the details are missing, or it's not strong enough, or stuff like that.
Mm.
So yeah, it definitely helps that I come from a technical world, and I'm working with artisans. Even at my 9 to 5, I work with artisans, so it's easy for me to kind of like manage my guys. So yeah.
I feel like at artisans, not from experiencing managing them, but having them come and do like the plumbing and our flat and come and like break down the wall. Literally, I felt like I needed to micromanage them because these
Exactly.
guys, the minute they get a break, they go and have a smoke,
Yeah.
or they go and eat,
Yep.
or they just don't work. Like they just, sometimes I feel they're too creative
They
for
can't
our
do
liking.
anything on their own.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
literally need to be like guided. Okay, guys, we're done with this part. Let's continue. You guys are doing well. Like it's a lot of encouragement and management that I don't have the capacity for. But yeah, it's good that you're
Exactly.
working with
Mm.
them in both, as like in both your normal work and your business. Yo,
Yeah. It
do you
helps.
have any regrets? Do you have any regrets if you could start your business again in 2021? So you started in 2019. If you could start it again in
Hmm.
2021, how would you go about it? Would you change anything?
Okay, I wouldn't change so much because I mean the things that happened they kind of helped me grow.
Mm,
Um, but I think the one thing I had a bit of a few problems with the employees. Maybe if I had like maybe taken them for training, maybe I would have considered those things like maybe let them get some basics.
mm,
Um, and then also maybe I shouldn't have given too many responsibilities to employees. I
mm,
feel like at the beginning I gave them too many responsibilities. I was too trusting, and it kind of cost me a lot of money, a lot of business.
mm,
So if I was to go back in time, I would have given my employees less responsibilities. I would have taken them for training. Um, yeah, I think those are some of the few things that I would have changed. And maybe also another thing, I wish that I did more research on like where I could source materials at the beginning.
mm,
Because I think I was just spending a lot of money on materials and all over, and also that meant spending so much money at the beginning of the business.
when you
So
could
yeah,
actually
I
be
think those
saving. Yeah, those are really
exactly,
helpful
yeah,
tips.
yeah. I hope so.
Mm. Do you
Yeah.
have any other tips for people who want to start a business in the furniture industry specifically?
Apart from like the things that I just mentioned now, mm,
Mm,
I think um just try to listen to the customers. Focus on the customers and on quality as well, because it's a thing of like word of mouth really helps when it comes to the furniture business. uh, Unfortunately, people need to see something to really, um what should I say, they need to see the piece of furniture before they can buy it. And if someone
mm,
comes to your apartment, they need to be able to see, who made this. So just
mm,
really make sure that you do good quality stuff. Don't just focus on making money. I see a lot of people in the furniture industry. uh, I can clearly see that there's no quality here. They try to use
mm,
minimal materials as possible, just so that they come out as the cheapest and stuff.
mm.
But I think quality is better. Um, and also, um, another thing, just don't be scared of competition. Like I know there's a lot of furniture stores, but everybody can be different. You can offer
Mm.
something different from everybody else. Just see how you can be innovative and find your target market and focus on those. Um, yeah. So basically, I think that's all I can say for now. Yeah.
That's
Those
perfect. Yeah, I think a
yeah,
lot of people get scared about somebody else is already doing it. What am I gonna add? What value am I gonna add? Um,
exactly.
so that's really helpful. Where do you see Windhoek Interior Designs in the next 5 years?
Okay.
Or is it a secret?
No, not necessarily. Apart from what I
Mm,
had said earlier, where I focus on working with developers and stuff for houses,
mm,
um, I see us having like a franchise. Just like
mm,
what furniture stores do you guys have? At home, maybe
mm.
where you have
That's
like a shop
expensive.
next
Don't be
down
like
and.
that.
No, I know, but remember, I have a different
Mm,
vision. Remember, when I started off,
mm,
I had a problem with how much the furniture cost. So,
mm,
I definitely, my target market is people who are like me. So I would want to have a franchise where we have a shop everywhere in Namibia, and also the Windhoek Interior South Africa. I want it to really grow because I feel like there is a bigger market than
yeah.
here. So I want to see Windhoek Interior South Africa really grow, and I want them to be able to offer the same products that we are offering here. Because obviously I have the employees here, but in South Africa we
Mm,
don't have those employees who can do those things. So the vision is to have people to do the stuff, so that
Mm.
we are in sync with them that side. And yeah, as I
Okay.
said, working with construction companies and property developers. So that's where I see Windhoek Interiors. I also see more home makeover consultations. Yeah, so
Whoop.
we should see Windhoek Interiors everywhere. Basically, every person in
Yeah.
Namibia should know. The same way they know Mr. Price, they must know that Windhoek Interiors
Mm.
exists. That's where I see us.
I see it. I'm lighting a candle. I'm here for this.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah. No, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. By
Yeah.
the way, can people in South Africa get products? Do you ship?
No,
How would it work?
no, we have guys in South Africa. We Right now, if you order a headboard,
Mm-hmm.
we can ship to whichever town that you are, but we are based in Cape Town, so it's easier for the people that are around
Okay.
the Cape Town area, because then we can just deliver it. But wherever you are, we can deliver. But for now, it's mostly just the upholstered furniture, like headboards and beds.
Mm.
It's not necessarily everything that is in Namibia, but you can always send us a picture. We'll look at it and we see if it's something that we can do that side
Yeah.
in South Africa.
No, that's
Yeah,
actually
but
good.
we won't.
That
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
we won't be shipping from Windhoek to South Africa, but we'll have a team that side. Yeah,
Okay.
we
Okay,
have a
that's
team that
perfect.
side actually. Yeah,
Yeah. That's good. Thank you so much
yeah.
for coming on the podcast.
Oh, you're welcome. It was really great being here. It's my first podcast. I'm gonna put it on my CV. Kidding. Yeah, but
Yes, please.
I'm
And
really.
and you know, I was
Uh-huh.
thinking to myself, I'm like, Sati, I know this, I'm not trying to add more things onto your plate, but the last
Yeah.
guest I had was talking about a podcast called Property Magicians. And it's these two,
Mm.
I think there's two South African women who started a podcast. They talk about property, they talk about home staging, they talk about like investing, they talk about like everything property. And
Wow.
like I think it could be so related to like home makeovers that you wanna. So I'm
Yes.
like,
Yes.
maybe there could be something there in the
Yeah.
future.
I wrote it down just now,
Yeah, so
actually, in my
definitely
notes.
have a listen. Yeah, have a listen to the Property Magicians. Do you listen to any other podcasts?
I listened to this other lady
Okay.
on Castbox. Her name is what's her name? Farouche. What? Let me just get her name quickly. But I listened to her podcast on this app called Castbox. You know Castbox?
I've never heard of it, but okay,
Oh,
I'll check it
yeah.
out.
Yeah, her name is Fanush Torabi. So she speaks a lot about finances and stuff. Like, I remember the one podcast was like about finances in relationships and stuff. At that time, I was in a relationship, so I wanted to kind of understand, and it's nice listening to her. But for example, like now I'm looking at her podcast. I can just read you one title um where
Mm.
she spoke about, like, for example, how to quit your job and afford it, in brackets. It's like it's stuff like that. Like, it's mostly finances.
Yeah, yeah, and it's definitely what people are wanting to know.
Exactly, yeah. So she's one of the few people, and she's kind of like brutally honest and stuff, like uh, things that a lot of people don't want to talk about, like in terms of finances, like maybe with your partner and stuff like that, or whatever. So
Mm,
yeah.
mm.
But I also listened to a
Oh,
few
that's
more,
good.
but that's the one that I wanted to mention. Yeah,
Okay, no, I think I'll definitely also go have a listen
yeah,
to Benush Tarabi, I think you said.
yeah.
Castbox, yeah.
Mm.
Thank you so much. Please pimp yourself out. Where can people find you? Where can they find the business? Yeah, everything.
Okay. Okay. So we have a website. We have two websites: the South African one and the Namibian one. The Namibian one is WHK Interiors dot online. So if you go there, that's where we are. The South African one is whkinteriors.co.za. And we are also on Instagram, WHK Interiors, on Twitter, on Facebook. Yeah, I think that's basically where you can find us. And you can, if you go to our Instagram, our phone number is there, our emails are there. Um, so yeah, you can reach us anytime, WhatsApp. Um, yeah, and hopefully we'll start a YouTube soon where you can see all our work. So that's definitely in the making as well. You
Yes.
asked about our goals. So one day we would love to see
Yeah.
befores and afters, and that's the main goal. Yeah,
Yeah, I always love at the end of a home makeover, like the final reveal, and then they compare to like the end, like to the
exactly.
beginning, and I'm like, oh, so nice. Yeah, so
Exactly.
definitely look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Saarty.
You're welcome, and it was
Yay.
really nice being here. And I'm glad you have a platform like this. I really love what you are doing. It's amazing. Keep it up, and yeah, just keep going.
Thank you so much, Saarty. That's perfect. Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. If you found this podcast helpful, please remember to like and share it. See you in the next one.